All right, for this PSAT question, they're asking us, it's a pretty wordy question, but as you go through the question, you start to see two really well-defined equations. They're talking about Allen and Taylor. So let's go ahead and set up these two people here. So I'm going to say Allen, and I'm going to think of all of Allen's equation under there, and I'm going to think of Taylor. Okay. So what's happening here is we're told that Allen charges for his lawn service $15 for equipment and $8.50 per hour. So that equation kind of looks like this. It looks like 15 plus 8.50, 8.5, and we're going to bring x into the equation. The way x comes in, if you read later on into the question, it says if x represents the number of hours spent cutting the lawn. Well, if he's charging $8.50 per hour and he cuts the lawn for x number of hours, say 10 hours, or well, that's a long time, say 2 or 3 hours, then it's going to be 8.5 times that number of hours. But since we don't know that specific number of hours, we're just going to call it x for now. And then Taylor is going to do the same thing. Taylor has a base charge of $12 plus $9.25 per hour, and that times x, the total number of hours there. So these are the two equations. Now the question later said that we want the value of x that makes Taylor greater than Allen. Okay. So this is what we want Taylor's information to be greater than that of Allen, and we want to solve for the x there. Well, that brings us to a situation where our equations now need to be 12 plus, pretty much I'm going to take Taylor's information, which is this equation here. I'm going to take that equation, I'm going to make that greater than Allen, which is 15 plus 8.5 x. Now, if you continue that on, you just pretty much need to solve the equation. Now, there's a math trick right here. We obviously need to bring like terms together. We need to bring the 12 and the 15 together. We need to bring the 9.25 and the 8.5 together. One of the tricks here is to always move the smaller number, the smaller value. So in this case, I'm going to think about moving my 12 over here. Okay, obviously to change signs when you do that. And I'm going to think of moving my 8.5 to the left. So I'm going to think of this one goes over here while the 12 goes over there. So every time you move a number to the other side, remember that the sign changes. So I'm going to still have my greater than signs, but this 15 was here all the while, so that's fine. But this 12, when it comes over here, becomes minus 12. And this 9.25 was here all the while. But when this 8.5x comes over to the left, it becomes minus. The sign changes. Okay, so if you subtract the 9.25 minus 8.5, you get 0.75x. And this is greater than 15 minus 12 is 3. We want to solve for x, so x, to get x by itself, you need to divide by 0.75 on both sides. Okay, and when you do that, x becomes this divided by this gives us 4, actually gives us 4. All right, so this puts us in a situation where that pretty much is the answer. The answer here is A. And it all really stems from knowing that in this situation, you have to think about Allen, you have to think about Taylor, and you have to think about their equations. So you just really do what the question says, which is we want a situation where we can find the x when Taylor's total charge is greater than that of Allen. So that's why we set up this equation right here, that Taylor, which is all of that information, which is all of this information, should be greater than all of this information. And then you just solve the algebra from there. And that's how you solve this PSAT question.